This is section 6 and quite possibly the most important section for calculus. You really have to have a good concept of lines. So this is the form we're going to use the most in calculus, which is why I ask you to use it in this section, point slope form. Basically, you just take the y value and you do y minus that equals the slope times x minus the x value. So this answer pretty much speaks for itself. Your instinct is going to be to solve this for y, but if the question says put it in point slope form, this is your final answer. If you solved it for y, you're putting it in slope intercept form, which would then be wrong. Number 32 is the same exact thing, except this time they don't give you the slope. You actually have to find it using the slope formula. I'm going to show you a trick right now so that you never, ever, ever, ever make a sign mistake on a slope formula ever again. You're going to push on your calculator alpha y equals, and if you don't get this screen, you need to come see me immediately because I need to upgrade your calculator. This is the best screen ever invented. These stand for numerator, denominator, mixed number, converting a numerator denominator to a mixed number, or converting a fraction to a decimal. We're mostly going to use choice 1, so I'm just going to hit enter, and I want to get out of this screen. I want it to be in my home screen. I'm going to clear, and I'm going to go alpha y equals, enter. Now in the top, you simply type the y minus y from your points. So I'm going to do -3 minus 2. And again, it doesn't matter what order you go in, as long as you always go, uh-oh, as long as you always go in the same order. So I'm going to go -3 minus 2. I'm going to arrow down. I'm going to do 1 minus -5. 1 minus -5. Enter. And the beauty of that is not only does it do the math for you correctly, but it also reduces it if necessary. Please use this. I know you guys are all really good at math and you never mess up signs, but it's such an easy fix for such common mistakes that there's just no reason not to use it. So your slope is -5/6, and therefore either of these equations is acceptable. You can use either point. If you use the first point, this is your equation. If you use the second point, this is your equation. Slope of 0 means a horizontal line. Horizontal line is y equals a number. How do you know what the number is? Whatever the y is. Y equals -1. Parallel means they have to have the same slope. Solve this for y. Your slope becomes 2/3 when you do that. Plug it into point slope form. The whole point of point slope form is finding the slope of the line. It's the hardest part. Perpendicular, it's the same exact line, so we're going to look at the negative reciprocal of this, which becomes -3/2. Plug it in. There's your equation. There might be a question on your test which is coming up that says something like f of 1 equals 5 and f of 3 equals 7. Write the equation through those points. Well, now you have to recognize that this is the x value and this is the y value. So it's really just giving you 2 points again, but it's doing it in a different format. So you would find the slope, which is 1. And then in point slope form, you would do y minus 5 equals 1 times x minus 1. Again, obviously you don't have to write that 1 there, but that's what this notation means. So don't be scared by that when you see it. Again, I'm going to keep going because these are getting short. In order to simplify, you need a common denominator. The common denominator between x plus h and x is x times x plus h. So I need to multiply the first fraction by x and the second fraction by x plus h. This minus sign gets distributed throughout the parentheses, and when you do that, you get x minus h, and the x's cancel out. So you're left with -h over x times x plus h. Over here, you have to remember that when you square a by, you get a trie. Absolutely have to square it and get x squared plus 2xh plus h squared minus x squared all over h. Combine like terms, the x squareds cancel out. You're left with 2xh plus h squared over h. Factor out a common factor of h. Remember, don't stop here. You always have to see if you can factor something. Factor out an h and you're left with 2x plus h. h's cancel. Final answer is 2x plus h. This is going to show up a lot. There's going to be a lot of h's throughout the whole first section of calculus, and you saw it a lot in pre-calculus too, I think. And the reason is because it's the definition of derivative, but we'll get to that in due time, no worries. I'm going to tell you right now, 39 is a really stupid question. You're never going to rationalize a numerator, so don't even do that. Rationalizing the denominator, however, you have to multiply by the conjugate. So by multiplying by the conjugate, we just change the sign of the constant term. So I'm going to multiply by root x plus 4 plus 2 over root x plus 4 plus 2. When you multiply 2, this is a binomial. This is one term, This is another term. So you have to distribute the 2. So you multiply the 2 by the root x plus 4, and then you multiply the 2 by the 2. On the bottom, it's a binomial times a binomial. You have to FOIL. Well, your first is a square root times itself, which always gives you the number underneath. The outside and the inside are always going to be exact opposites of each other. Your outside here is positive 2 root x plus 4. Your inside is negative 2 root x plus 4. Those will always cancel out. That's the whole point of rationalizing a denominator using the conjugate. Then negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. Simplify, your 4's cancel out, and your final answer is that.